Yes, I know why you're here. You're definitely here because you want to know what you need to be a good teacher. So, if I'm right, you should definitely watch this video and enjoy it. So, during this video, we're going to talk about what education means, what we think about dropout, that it's an important problem in education. What does it mean being a good teacher? The advantages and disadvantages that bilingual education has. And we are going to see Conchi's interview, which is a good professor. And then we're going to give you a conclusion about what we think.
Education is the ground of everybody's life. It starts in the earlier years of childhood, when scaffolding bases are settled to construct the rest of the people's education. During adolescence, education is reinforced, and in its late years, everything you have learned is internalized. To help it happen, it's necessary to keep in mind that information teacher is offering to their pupil must be clear so a student could solve problem easily. Activity teacher is presenting must be a challenge to the student, so it is be a little bit more difficult to make them put an extra effort and improve. Teacher is in a charge of taking note about every student's quality, and teacher intervention must be inversely proportional to a student's ability. Related with education, but putting it into numbers, we should talk about dropout. In Spain, percentage of dropout is about 29%. It is way higher if we compare it to European, which it is 14%. This high number of students dropping out drive us to great number of young people without formation, and because of this, without work. It especially happens with people between the age of 16 and 30. One of the main aims in education is to motivate the students, to make them better and learn more and more every lesson. This will help the students to build their own educational basis, their own path. If we motivate children since the very beginning of the will achieve their personal and professional motivation, motivated children will have always a goal to achieve and many objectives to accomplish. This is the piece they need to complete their own puzzles.
If we want to reduce dropouts percentage, we need a teacher that motivates the children in the class. These are the characteristics we consider the perfect teacher should have. First of all, they should be close to their students and also friendly. This is necessary because in that way their students will not be afraid of asking him for advice if necessary. If we keep in mind that teachers spend more time with their students than their parents do, being close and caring is almost compulsory. Respect should be always in the classroom. It is important that both parts respect each other, even if only the teacher is the one who sets the limits. Patience is not only a virtue if you work with kids. Nowadays in education, there aren't two children with similar qualities or abilities. Their working abilities, their way of processing information, the way they behave, and every single element related to them make them different. Using your patience to be able to work with every kid in your classroom is the best you can do to deal with it. Vocation is typically linked to education, and it's highly connected actually. If teachers have vocation, their profession will complete them. working won't be so hard for them, so they will put more enthusiasm on it. It is also important to be honest and know that as your students may make things wrong, you too. Accepting your own mistakes and correcting them is important. Talking to your students' parents and communicating with them is as important as talking to the kids in the class. Communication between both parts make a change in a student's education. Constant formation and planification skills are the last ability needed. If you have all those qualities, congratulations, you are prepared for this work, but good luck, you will need it. Oh, did you think it was the end? Not really. It is fine if you have all or many of the skills needed to be a good teacher, but maybe you will need more information. First, if you're going to be a teacher in a bilingual school, you should know what advantages bilingualism brings. Well, you need to know that bilingualism helps the children to be open-minded. Learning another culture is always important just to make them understand that there are many different kinds of culture and not only ours. Anyway, bilingual education is important for more reasons. English is an important vehicle of communication because it's one of the most spoken languages all over the world. It's not only important only for communication. In a cognitive way, it has been demonstrated that children that have a bilingual education have a flexible mind, so it could be much easier for them learning not only other languages, also other subjects. Bilingualism also helps those kids with special needs or those who need some extra help. It will be used to work with every special case, making those children learn and giving them what they need to learn. As everything in life, it has its bad part. On the other side of the coin, bilingualism has its disadvantages. Students' different abilities and understanding levels may suppose a gap that the teacher should keep in mind. As in a non-bilingual class, teachers should adapt to their students' learning rhythm. Some parents don't support bilingual education. They consider that children don't learn in Spanish and either in English. As in a non-bilingual education, some parents don't understand the methodology used. That's why they don't agree with it. Showing them the benefits it brings to children is sometimes a necessary step to take. Sometimes, in schools with bilingual sections, bilingual children and non-bilingual ones may feel like they are different. This could be a problem because of the rivalry it can produce, mostly for students' parents. As with the bilingual education, we're trying to make children respect the difference, we should try to use this rivalry as an example, making them learn from a real problem. Hey, are you sick of us? It's okay. I would too if I were you. So now let's see what a real professional thinks about this topic.
¿Es para ti ser un buen maestro bilingüe o qué características debe tener?
Pues yo creo que tiene que ser un buen facilitador, un buen guía. No que tenga la verdad, no que eso, sino que vaya ayudando a los alumnos.
Vale. La segunda pregunta sería, ¿cómo consideras tú que tus alumnos estén motivados y te presten atención en clase?
Bueno, con muchas actividades, cambiando mucho y en las que ellos participen.
O sea, que el alumno sea un agente activo.
Totalmente, es que es un agente activo. No puede estar sentado 5 horas, tiene que estar moviéndose y tiene que estar manipulando, tiene que estar haciendo.
Y la última pregunta es, ¿crees que es necesario que estés en un libro para dar una buena clase o conseguir una mejor?
No, y de hecho este año solo tengo libros en lengua y de science, art y matemáticas. Yo creo que todo lo contrario. Ahora bien, hay que tener muy en cuenta los objetivos. Tienes que tener muy claro qué es lo que estás dando, los contenidos y los objetivos. No puedes dar algo que se lo pasen de los niños, pero que no esté en tu currículum, porque para eso, como siempre digo, la feria la llevan los padres. Entonces, tener muy claro los objetivos, para mí ha sido lo contrario. Para mí esta vez ha sido una liberación y estoy disfrutando muchísimo, porque además sí te acomodas más a los niños, porque no le das la casita de muñecas que viene en el libro, sino das a lo mejor los dinosaurios, que es lo que quiere esa clase, y a lo mejor al año que viene no quieren los dinosaurios ni la casita de muñecos, quieren los superhéroes. Entonces te acomodas totalmente.
Buscar un elemento que se interese para él.
Exactamente.
Vale, pues muchas gracias.
Nada.
To conclude this storytelling, we would like to put some examples about how to improve the education that exists nowadays with some activities that Conchi told us after our interview. All the examples are related with mathematics lessons, as it is one of the subjects that she teaches without using book. The first example is to learn the additions and subtractions. The teacher can buy or make a paper with squares with the number from 0 to 100. Then, in the class, the teacher says, start in the number 13. After this, she adds or subtracts some numbers. For example, subtract 7, add 5, add 12. To finish this activity, the teacher asks, in which number are we? And the students have to answer her in which number they are. In the second example, the teacher makes groups of 4 students and she gives each one a role. Responsible for distributing the material, teacher, this pupil is the only student that can ask to the tutor. The judge, he has the solutions of the games and the responsible for the tidying up. The third example is about dividing. Tutor gives to each group a slice of bread and she explains that all the groups have to divide the bread in, for example, 3 equal parts. Then the tutor distributes some pieces and in this way the game is more complicated. The students learn about division in a dynamic way. Our personal opinion about this topic is that there is no pupil better than other just because one of them has a bilingual education and other an education only in his mother language. Motivation is an important quality needed in this profession. Changing the current way of teaching, we could improve the way education is working, and as a consequence, the world where we live. Educated people improve the world we live in. Also, it is an important point to catch the attention and interest in the students, because if they are motivated, it's easier for them learning the different concepts that the teacher explains.
Yes, I know at this point you should be so tired of us, but I'm sure that now you know what you need to be a good teacher. So, thanks anyway, and you're welcome. Bye bye.